The one that really intrigued me, which is a bit more of a deep dive, but I think is really good for fantasy people, is James Washington with the Cowboys. He was a unbelievable deep threat 3 years ago for the Steelers, but then Ben Roethlisberger's arm fell off, and they kept asking him to. If you go through his average yards per route, it's about 30 yards. So he's still being asked to run down the field, a very, very long way down the field, even when they know their quarterback can't throw the ball down the field anymore. So his production drops off. People think he's not a very good player. He goes to the Cowboys, where he's going to be probably the fourth or fifth option on an offense with both the run game and then Dak and his legs and just the second phase of it all. And you're asking him basically, you're going to stand out there, run down the field very far. CeeDee Lamb will play inside and draw all the safety help and all the safety attention. Can Dak hit him, I don't know, 15, 20 times a year in big spots, deep down the field for scores? I think James Washington is going to have some big, big receptions and some big time touchdowns in close games because you just cannot cover it all. And when he's played in an offense with a guy who can actually throw the ball, he's been pretty good in the NFL. And in particular as a deep threat, he's had like the Sean Jackson level output over 3 years as a deep, over 20 yards or more. To drop that in with Dak, that upgrade from the latter stage of Roethlisberger to Dak Prescott, I don't think that can be underestimated.
I still slightly struggle to connect with the idea that after what we saw in the latter half of last year, and this idea that, Kellen Moore was going to be a head coaching candidate, but there are so many guys on that offense who are so talented in theory. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, guys who look like they could be putting up production that is rivaling anyone else in the NFL, and yet nobody ever truly emerges as a superstar. And even with Dak coming back off the injury, plus Zeke coming back off injuries and getting a bit more into rotating in Pollard, a bit more of a running back room by committee. Nobody kind of has really stood out. I think my only problem with it is he could have a really good year that you and I will go, do you know what? James Washington's been brilliant this year, but he actually catches, 40 targets for 500 yards or something because there's a lot of deep balls and nobody's screaming about it. But we're going, do you know what? He's been really important to what they've done.
No, I agree. The thing with them is they've built this system which is just all about Dak. Right, I've said this on this pod before. They run Peyton Manning's offense with Dak Prescott, and he runs it as efficiently as Peyton Manning did. It's just not quite to the gaudy MVP level numbers because he keeps getting hurt because they're asking him to do everything, and they ask him to hold on to the ball for so much longer than anyone else in the modern NFL has to. It's quite unusual, and then they'll blend that with like 6 gimmick plays a game where we all go, Kellen Moore's pretty good at this. Those 6 gimmick plays are really fun. So it's a really strange one where it is all about Dak figuring it out, getting to the best place. So it's not like they're just relentlessly hitting CeeDee Lamb and targeting him 14 times a game. And it's not, 9 catches and 4 touchdowns and these historic performances, which I believe CeeDee Lamb has the talent to do. And particularly when you pair that, as you mentioned, if you've got Lamb and Amari Cooper, shouldn't one of those guys just be bullying someone? It's just such a mismatch where Dak goes, this is easy. I'm just going to throw the ball to Amari 10 times because their third guy cannot possibly cover Amari. Because it's so system structured and the system is built around Dak and his brain, they've almost, it's going to sound a bit mad, but they've almost overcomplicated what should be pretty simplistic, which is just put that guy in the shotgun, let him throw it to whoever's open. I think it's almost a pretentious offense at times. When it could be a lot easier. And I'm not saying they missed the window, but to not cash in on that whilst they also had Amari is a little bit silly.
Efficiency should be what they're looking for.